Be the last hands to send you to retire, Canelo added before abruptly ending the call. This was quite different from every other moment the two fighters have shared with themselves, where they're known to show so much respect and admiration for each other. Clearly, after announcing the fight and making it official, things have taken a dangerous turn between them. Style. Some analysts have expressed skepticism about Crawford's ability to compete effectively at super middleweight. This stems, in part, from his most recent fight, a points victory over Israel Madrimov at super welterweight, which lacked the dominant display many expected. Álvarez, I'm letting you know right now, he's about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Álvarez. A win for Crawford would be an incredible achievement, as he looks to add to his already superb accolades, which include becoming undisputed at both super lightweight and welterweight. Unforgettable spectacle. While some believe the press conference was a big step in bringing the matchup to reality, it seems destined to remain just what it is right now, a dream. If you remember, His Excellency Turkey... place. He made him move his feet. If the fight ever materialized, that's the fight that I would go back and watch, said McIntyre regarding Canelo versus Bivol when speaking on the Luke Thomas YouTube channel.
Great show, you know what I mean?
Do you think Crawford will employ the same tactics to try and box?
I hope not. I hope not, because the people deserve a good fight.
What do you make of the Crawford fight next?
Huh?
How excited are you for the Crawford fight?
I'm excited. I'm gonna enjoy this win and then we can yeah, do it.
Crawford took too many right hands and looked less sharp than usual. For Canelo, there's not much incentive to take this fight. He's already proven himself against bigger, stronger opponents, and Crawford hasn't done the legwork to earn a shot at 168 pounds.
And go back, get one of those guys.
Biggest star, while Crawford, undefeated at 41-0, has long been considered one of the most skilled fighters in the game. Here's where things get tricky. Crawford's last fight against Israel Madrimov didn't exactly inspire confidence. Sure, he won, but it was far from dominant. Crawford...
It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'd be a well-fought fight for both of us, I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody that I step.
The other, Crawford's age, 37, and lack of experience at higher weights make this feel like a lopsided affair. At the end of the day, Canelo doesn't need this fight. He's already cemented his legacy as one of the greatest, and he's got plenty of other options to consider. Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford just got into a heated live interview ahead of their fight on September 12th. Ever since the fight became official, both fighters have had some beef between them, as anyone could see once they had their face-off.
Fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo. So no make sense when you guys say that right now. At the end of the day, I don't want to have credit to.
The statement marks a notable shift for Canelo, who had previously expressed reluctance to face Crawford, citing the lack of credit he would receive for defeating a smaller opponent. Meanwhile, Crawford has shown persistence in pursuing the matchup, willing to move up 2 weight classes to prove his dominance. The clash between Terence Crawford and Saul Canelo Álvarez, scheduled for September 12th in Las Vegas, promises to be one of the most emblematic clashes of the modern era of boxing. Both arrive as undisputed champions in their respective divisions.
Crawford, but you know, you never know. You never know in boxing. I'll go up and down and fight everybody out there. So it's possible. Why not? It's possible.
Other than the size difference and having to put on some weight, what challenges does Canelo pose once you guys get in there?
I don't know. I just think, you know, his punching power and his physical size is the only thing that I really have to worry about. But who knows? Once we get in the ring, we don't know how I'll handle his punching power, his size. I've been fighting bigger guys.
But I'm going to come in, do my job, and get the victory. He's a great fighter that I respect, but he's not faced anything like what I'm bringing to the ring with him. I'm coming with a mentality to get the win, and I would. He may be bigger, but he's not better. This statement from Crawford was more than just a statement, as it sent some funny message to Canelo Álvarez, who didn't appreciate Crawford's words to him. Before the interviewer could move to Canelo, he interrupted the interviewer himself and shunned Crawford.
Oh, great performance tonight.
No, I feel great. I win. I come to put a great show, but to put a great show, you need both fighters. So, but at the end of the day, win is a win.
Are you frustrated with William Scull?
Yeah, a little bit, but.
What did you say to him at the end of the fight?
I say to him.
Al-Sheikh was also pushing for the bout during Crawford's skirmish with Israel Madrimov last year. The Saudi royal had even asked Hearn to reach out to Canelo's team to make the fight happen. However, the fight never materialized, and the conversation around the potential fight has been slowly dying down. Of course, the former undisputed welterweight champion from Omaha, Nebraska, sounded very confident and affirmative, as he predicted a victory for himself. Definitely, I'm going to beat him, he knows. I've always said this about dudes that fight him, they're always scared. Funnily, Canelo Álvarez made a reference to Jermell Charlo, who he defeated some years back after he had moved some weight classes up to fight against him. You'll do nothing more than what Charlo did, and I'll treat you both the same way. I'll teach you boxing and let you know that weight classes exist for a reason. My hands will...
You just come to... You can not win a fight like that, fighting like that, and he say, I'm sorry. It's my first time, and I just tried to put a good fight, and I'm so sorry. That's fine.
What's your message to fighters who will fight you in the future? Obviously not Crawford, but with that kind of mindset, they just want to last the distance.
That's a mediocre mind. That's a mediocre mind because they come just to survive, to go to the 12th round. That's a mediocre mind. You need to put a good fight there and put.
I want this fight now.
Well, I've been wanting to fight, I feel as if that's a legacy fight. I feel as if, this is the biggest fight in boxing today. I feel like this fight right here is like the last of the Mohicans. We both come in an era where Floyd Mayweather was #1 pound for pound, Showtime, and HBO era, that type of era. So I think this
And show the world his greatness, added Bradley. It's a bold stance, but Bradley's not wrong that this matchup would generate buzz. Canelo, with a record of February 2nd, 62, is the sport's big. Canelo in super middleweight and Crawford in welterweight. Although the American will move up 2 categories to face the Mexican, he does so only after carefully analyzing his next opponent. Canelo's recent victory over Cuban William Scull by unanimous decision in Saudi Arabia was closely watched by Crawford, who studied the champion's every move. I don't think Canelo has dropped his level. It was more the merit of the style that was presented to him. He told fight.
Every time I see him, he'd come and be like, Canelo.
You're right. Yeah, you know how Billy do it too,
Every time, I'll be like, man, come on, man.
Yeah.
So every time he say that, I'll just be like gradually getting into like looking at it, like, okay. And he's not that big. He heavy, but he's not that big.
Right.
And I'm just like, all right. And I'm laughing, but at the same time, it started.
Crawford deserves a shot at greatness. But let's be real, does this matchup even make sense? According to Bradley, Canelo owes it to boxing fans to make this fight happen. You already ran away from the Benavidez fight, Bradley said. Despite having wicked smiles towards each other, things became stern as they stared each other down. The live interview the pair had was with a famous YouTube boxing channel, who brought the pair on a call ahead of their fight. While they called, Terence Crawford was asked if he was assured of victory ahead of their fight, for saying he was better than him. Why would you say that you're better than me? Which fighters have you fought? What's your boxing record like? What have you done that I've not done before? You're not better than GGG or any of the guys I've won.
I feel sorry for him. But he's boxing. He's boxing. It's happening.
Did you watch the fight?
Yeah, of course. I watched the fight. It was a good deal. Yeah.
Would you rather see him fight Haney again or Rolly again?
He was boxing well, and then he stopped. Crawford has already hinted that his strategy will not rely on seeking the knockout, but rather on dominating Canelo with tactical intelligence, speed, and constant movement. His ability to switch stances, adapt to different styles, and unsettle his opponents makes him a sea of other options to consider. As for Crawford, if he really wants to share the ring with Canelo, he might have to take the tougher road to prove he belongs. Tim Bradley can keep pushing for it, but for now, this fight feels more like a dream than reality. Crawford has achieved many big things in boxing, but victory over Canelo would be his biggest accomplishment.
Cuando vine a pelear a Madison y voy a volver a venir.
Canelo, I'm sure you saw the fight with Crawford and match him up, and you heard Turkey Alishik say that he sent you an offer, possibly to face Crawford for coming up here. Is that true, or what happened with that?
No, I don't have any offer. And look, I'm under.
This Hub TV, pointing to Scull's defensive and mobile approach as an effective formula to neutralize the Mexican. During the 12 rounds in Riyadh, Scull avoided direct exchanges and focused on constant movement, a strategy that reduced Álvarez's offensive effectiveness. Canelo's the same height as Crawford. He's not a natural 168-pounder. He is a great fighter, absolutely. But you know who else is a great one is Crawford. The great ones know how to figure it out. Whilst it's true that Canelo's last stoppage came against Caleb Plant at the MGM Grand in November 2021, Bradley is overlooking the fact that the Mexican has faced and beaten
hardcore boxing fans. They know Crawford can beat Canelo just like they knew Floyd was going to beat Spence. It's real simple. Real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to take it.
This fight will be massive.
And you mentioned Floyd. Obviously, Floyd and Manny, a lot of people thought happened way after it should have happened. You guys are both in your prime right now. You guys are both two of the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in boxing. This is the biggest fight in boxing right now.
Definitely. And that's what I've been saying. You know, you got two guys, top 3, pound for pound.
He's gonna knock him out, Bradley said via his YouTube channel. When the hell was the last time Canelo knocked somebody out? Y'all can quit with that. He's gonna knock Crawford out. Come on, man. Didn't we just see somebody Alexander Usyk fight a guy Tyson Fury who was quote unquote 50? This generated so much buzz between boxing fans who are in huge anticipation of the thrilling encounter between these future boxing Hall of Famers. A fan even commented, "I can't wait for this match. It finally looks like boxing wants to reward us for many months of watching trash." The latter, Bradley thinks his power has faded enough that it won't be a problem for Bud to face in the ring, even if he has to step up 2 divisions to make the super middleweight fight night a reality. Everyone keeps talking about the weight. Oh, he's gonna knock him out.
Stuff overseas. Canelo versus Crawford negotiations, so-called behind the scenes. I want to talk about, 1, is Crawford ready for that fight? 2, how do you see that fight playing out? And 3, is this a reality?
I've got to be honest, I'd be very surprised if that fight happens. I think His Excellency has been pushing that fight. It didn't seem like it was something that Canelo was really up for, to be honest. And like, when I've spoken to Canelo before about that fight,
the American seems convinced that with disciplined lateral movement and active defense, he can deactivate the Mexican's power. After the fight in Saudi Arabia, Crawford stepped into the ring and had a first face-to-face with Canelo, officially marking the start of the promotion for their fight. The scene not only ignited fans' expectations, but also made it clear. Argue that if Crawford really wanted this fight, he'd first go through the likes of David Benavidez or Artur Beterbiev to prove he can hang with the big boys. Boxing fans are split. On one hand, the idea of a skill versus power showdown between 2 generational talents is intriguing, on stake as much as victory. In an interview with Sway's Universe, Canelo Álvarez expressed his openness to the fight. "I'm in. Why not? Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight." Easy.
He should be able to beat Canelo, man.
I'm skeptical about the fight. I will back Crawford because, again, I think that he's special.
Easy money. If the money is right, I'm in because I don't like to fight guys like Crawford. He moves a lot, and the fight is not that great. I saw in his last fight, and he doesn't move that much now. So, if the money is right, I'm in right now. There are weight classes for a reason, Canelo added, to prove his dominance. Crawford is fully aware of the physical disadvantage he would face against Canelo, acknowledging that size will play a crucial role in the fight. However, he remains confident in his ability to overcome this challenge and impose his boxing. Of the 152 punches thrown by Canelo, only 56 landed, and although 40 of them were to the body, the knockout was never close. Scull moved a lot, he neutralized Canelo's power punches well, Crawford said, who also lamented that the Cuban did not keep up that pace throughout the fight. He was boxing.
He just told me Crawford beats Canelo.
Hey, Crawford beats anybody he steps in the ring with. Anybody. He don't go, no one beats him. No one beats Terence Crawford.
His athleticism and defense to get out of the way, he should be able to beat Canelo, man. Slow plodding forward, good jab, got good quickness.
The American has undisputed titles in 2 different divisions, a feat that few have achieved in the history of boxing, and is now looking for a 3rd consecration against one of the biggest names in the sport. In this fight, legacy is at stake for Crawford. Timothy Bradley, a 3-time boxing champion who took a belt from Manny Pacquiao, predicts Terence Crawford to beat Canelo Álvarez despite being the smaller man, because the Mexican hasn't knocked anyone out since 2021. The pair have been that Crawford is preparing with more than just muscle. He plans to use his head. I'm seeing the holes in his game and I know how to attack him, his trainer Brian Bomac McIntyre has said, making it clear that the plan is in motion. Despite the fact that Canelo is the favorite in the betting houses, Crawford is not a common opponent.
Throws a lot of hooks. Crawford just get away from all of those, get underneath them, bro. He should be able to beat Canelo, man.
I'm skeptical about the fight. I will back Crawford because, again, I think that he's special, and you know he's a friend of mine, but that's a dangerous fight, man.
Regardless, many boxing professionals believe Crawford is no match because of the weight class. One man who disagrees with that take, though, is 2-weight world champion turned boxing analyst Tim Bradley, who revealed on his YouTube channel that after studying both men, he now sees it being a dominant victory. Regardless of these concerns, the potential bout between Canelo and Crawford has captivated the imagination of boxing fans. The blend of power, speed, technique, and charisma from both fighters sets the stage for what could be it would pit an intelligent and powerful switch-hitting brawler in Crawford up against a relentless pressure fighter in Canelo, who is very durable, hits hard, and is renowned for his talented counter-punching defense. But on the note of the
Canelo Álvarez, I'm letting y'all know right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Álvarez. Yes, he is. Number 2, Devin Haney. You want to get back, man, go back to your roots, bro. Go back to where you started, bro. Where'd you start? You started in Mexico, man.
The super middleweight world champion has only tasted defeat twice, against Dimitri Bivol and Floyd Mayweather, and it's the Bivol battle that McIntyre will be studying if a fight between Crawford and Canelo takes place. Tip to meet in the ring since the end of 2024, but so far, nothing has actually materialized. All the same, there is a lot of excitement about the idea of the unified super middleweight king taking on the light middleweight champion. Notable names in the likes of Gennady Golovkin, John Ryder, Jermell Charlo, Jaime Munguia, and Edgar Berlanga. I woke up at 3 a.m. and something told me to study Canelo and study Crawford. Crawford is about to beat the hell out of Canelo.
Out of there, man. Go back, start there. That's where you start. Go back to your roots, bro. Get some of that humble pie, bro. Go back, start where you started. Start where you started at. And bro, I'm telling you, you go back where you started, you're gonna come back up on top.
Critic Bradley wasn't holding back. This week, the former boxing champ took to his YouTube channel to call out Canelo Álvarez, urging the unified super middleweight king to stop running away and give Terence Crawford the fight he's been asking for. Bradley's message was loud and clear. Fans want this fight, and Crawford. You're walking about Mexico, and you obviously don't care about what people think about you about not taking that fight. Make the fight with Crawford. That's a fight that everybody wants to see you take. And it's going to give Crawford the opportunity to show you.
Everybody that believes in hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo, just like they knew Bud was going to beat Spence. This is real simple. It's real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say that. Terry's going to get in there and do what he needs to do. Perform.
Said, make the fight with Crawford. That's the fight everybody wants to see. He even dismissed the narrative that Canelo's size and power would overwhelm Crawford, pointing out that Canelo started his career at 147 pounds and stands the same height as Crawford. I'd look at Mayweather versus Canelo too. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us.
Dude, and Canelo lands a bomb, one bomb, bro, on Crawford. It might not be good. It might not be good.
By subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.